let's go ahead and address the crowd that was convinced Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner were throwing shade at Meghan and Harry. The way some of you jumped and pointed at those deleted photos and immediately started screaming snub was almost impressive. You were so sure the Kardashians were sending a message. You were so sure the Sussexes were being iced out. You were so sure you had the tea. And now the kettle is empty. And you're the ones who look parched. Because the truth, straight from people, is that the photos were removed for one reason only. Meghan and Harry didn't sign off on them being posted. That's it. Not shade, not drama, not some catty Hollywood moment, just simply boundaries the Sussexes have every right to enforce. You need to start learning not to sprint to the wrong conclusions, especially about those two, because now you look stupid. Meghan and Harry move with intention. They protect their image. They handle their business quietly and professionally. Meanwhile, some of you saw photos disappear and turned it into an entire soap opera in your head. And now you're eating crow. How does it taste? Bitter? They were literally respecting a consent form. Imagine that. The Kardashians showing more respect for Meghan and Harry's boundaries than online haters and the British tabloids. So to the people who are gloating, sit down and shut the fuck up. How many times do you want to keep looking like fools? Watching your bitter, unhinged narratives collapse in real time is as ever delicious. Next time, before you jump to shade, remember this moment. Because once again, the story wasn't what the haters hoped for. And now they're looking like the sad, pathetic idiots they really are. Stay mad.
The headlines have been wild. Harry and Meghan snub the Kardashians. Drama at Kris Jenner's party. Kim deletes photos in rage. Meanwhile, the rest of us are sitting here like, what? Because the truth behind all this noise is so painfully simple that even a confused goldfish could understand it. Let's start with what actually happened, not the fantasy story cooked up by tabloids who treat speculation like a full-time career. Kris Jenner, the queen of empire building and immaculate contour, celebrated her 70th birthday. Of course, the guest list looked like the Met Gala, plus a sprinkle of Beverly Hills royalty, celebrities everywhere, flashing lights, champagne. And yes, Harry and Meghan were there, minding their business and looking absolutely unbothered. Before the party, every guest received a polite digital form asking whether they were okay with photos of them being posted online. A completely normal, totally reasonable question. And Harry and Meghan simply checked the no thanks box. Not, we hate everyone here. Not, we're above this. Just a calm, standard boundary. These are two people who have survived more paparazzi ambushes than anybody should in one lifetime. If anyone on earth has earned the right to say, actually, I'd prefer not to be posted, it's them. Fast forward to the actual birthday festivities, Kris and Kim both shared gorgeous photos from their night. And a couple of images happened to show Meghan and Harry somewhere in the background. Nothing scandalous, no dramatic pose, no secret handshake, just them existing. Once the Kardashians realized the couple didn't want to be posted, the photos were taken down. No shade, no temper tantrums, no secret unfollows, simply respectful grown-up behavior that every adult with a functioning brain understands. But because the internet never misses the chance to invent drama where none exists, the removal of two photos turned into a digital soap opera. Suddenly, every random Twitter user with 3 followers and a conspiracy mindset became an expert reader of Kardashian body language. The Sussexes were offended. Kris felt disrespected. Kim is devastated. The world is ending. Some of these theories had the same energy as, I saw a shadow, therefore ghosts are real. Let's be honest. The haters didn't actually believe any of this. They were just thrilled to have another opportunity to spin their usual narrative. Harry and Meghan can't fit in Hollywood. Meanwhile, the actual evidence says the complete opposite. They were invited. They attended. They enjoyed themselves. Their preferences were respected. If that's being unwelcome, then please somebody uninvite me to a Kardashian party. I'll be waiting right by the door. And when People magazine, a publication that, unlike some others, does not operate out of a basement with a laptop from 2008, confirmed exactly what happened, the anti-Sussex crowd panicked. You could practically hear them scrambling. "Oh no, the truth! Quick, change the narrative." And suddenly the headlines became things like, "Harry and Meghan are embarrassed. They shouldn't have said no. Hollywood is judging them." Please, the only people judging them are the same ones who dedicate their entire week to hating Meghan online. Imagine being that committed to someone you claim to dislike. Here's the reality they refuse to accept. Harry and Meghan are comfortable, connected, respected, and living life on their own terms. They don't need to cling to outdated institutions or play PR games for tabloids who treat human beings like commodities. If Beyoncé declined photo permission, the internet would say Queen behavior. If Rihanna declined, everyone would shrug and say she's private. If Zendaya declined, the suggestion would be protecting her peace. Love that. But when Meghan does it, suddenly it becomes a national emergency, as if she signed the Constitution, as if the fate of humanity depends on whether her photo appears in a Kardashian carousel. The hysterics were never about the photo. They were about control, about the media's inability to handle the idea that Harry and Meghan don't dance to their tune anymore. This entire non-scandal actually highlights something powerful about the Sussexes today. They are unshakable. They attend the events they choose. They guard their privacy without apology. They don't feed the trolls. They don't need to prove their value to anyone. Not Hollywood, not the monarchy, not the gossip blogs, not the obsession-driven commentators who pretend to be royal experts. What happened at Kris Jenner's party was simple. Two adults set a boundary. Their boundary was respected. Everyone moved on, except the people who make a living off imaginary drama. And you know what? The discomfort those critics feel? That's their own insecurity meeting the Sussexes' confidence. Because nothing bothers a gossip machine more than people who refuse to become content for them. At the end of the day, Harry and Meghan didn't snub anyone. They didn't storm out. They didn't cause tension. They did what confident, self-aware people do: protect their peace and control their image. If anything, this story shows just how strong they've become. They're not here to entertain negativity. They're not trying to please the unpleasable. They're simply living life on their terms. And that's exactly what some people cannot stand. If you loved this breakdown and you're tired of the wild fantasies the tabloids try to pass off as news, make sure you like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss an episode of the Sussex Squad. And if you'd like to support the channel directly and keep these deep dives coming, you can send a super thanks. It truly helps and is always appreciated. Thank you for being part of the Sussex Squad. Stay informed, stay supportive, and most importantly, stay laughing at the nonsense.